might be in a toxic relationship without even realizing it. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in what's happening around us that we forget to look at the bigger picture. So I have decided to make this short video to help you see if you are in a toxic relationship or not. What I have found is that most people associate toxic relationships just with the physical abuse, but that's just one side of the whole spectrum. A toxic relationship is a relationship that's harmful, draining in some way, and in some way negatively affecting the well-being of one or both of you. There are many different kinds of behaviors that are unhealthy, aka toxic, in romantic partnerships, ranging from one-sidedness or codependency to manipulation and full-on abuse. To help you find out if you are in a toxic situation, you can just answer the following questions I have prepared for you. Just answer yes or no to each of these 6 questions. Question number 1. Does your relationship go between feeling really great to just absolutely awful very often? Question number 2. Do you have hard time trusting each other because of all the past pain you have experienced in this relationship? Question number 3. Are you often threatening each other that you will leave the relationship? Question number 4. Do you feel uncomfortable being yourself when you are together? Question number 5. Do one of you uses guilt to get the other person to do things? And question number 6. Do you almost never talk about your feelings and how you feel? Well, if you have answered yes to at least one of these questions, then you might be in a toxic relationship. Healthy relationship should not exhibit any of the mentioned behaviors. But I want you to understand that toxic does not mean bad, being a bad person every time. The relationship doesn't necessarily need to involve bad people for it to become toxic. It's more about whether the dynamic between you two allows both of you to feel individually happy, nourished, empowered, and whole, consistently in the good and the bad times. Generally speaking, a relationship that involves playing games, constant fighting, power imbalance, meaning one partner controls the other one, if you feel afraid most of the time, or you just can't trust each other and try to emotionally hurt each other on purpose, this is likely toxic, simply because of the way these dynamics harm you or both of you and your well-being and create instability in relationship in the long term. So, what causes people to become toxic in the first place? Well, as humans, we are essentially behavior sponges. We tend to copy and integrate behaviors of people around us, starting with us being a baby. We literally suck the behavior of the people around us, especially when we are young. And sometimes we just didn't have very good role models to copy, and most of the time it was unintentional, of course. Now, you might be hearing all this and wondering, well, am I toxic, or is just my current relationship toxic? According to the psychologist Perpetua Neo, a toxic person is someone who consistently behaves in ways that harm others, whether intentionally or unintentionally. If the dynamics in your current relationship have been present in your past relationship as well, or all of your relationships, it's highly possible that the way you react and behave is creating this toxic environment and toxic dynamic between you and your partner. But what can also happen is that this is the first toxic relationship you have been in, and your dynamic with this specific partner is what's causing you to react in ways that harm your relationship and harm everybody around you also. The good news is that if you find yourself displaying these toxic behaviors, you are not stuck being this way for the rest of your life. There are ways to help you become more self-reflective and to heal. However, not every method is effective long term. Maybe you have noticed that people who are struggling with unhealthy relationships actually do read books about relationships, or they tried counseling or different kinds of methods. Yet their situation is not changing and they keep struggling in painful cycles. And this is simply because the root of the problem is in the subconscious mind, And that's why reading books or talking about how you feel over and over again oftentimes just does not work. So without healing on both your conscious and subconscious level, even if you rationally decide to do or not do something, your subconsciousness takes control and you end up doing it anyway. Because your subconscious mind takes over. And I want to make sure you really get this point. Without addressing the root cause and healing yourself, you will find yourself in the same situation in your next relationship again. And I don't mean to be the negative Nancy here, but this is simply how it works. Seriously. We have seen it happen over and over again in our work with our clients. So the bottom line is, just because you have had some bad behaviors, this isn't a reason for shame. It's actually quite the opposite. The fact that you are watching this video and trying to figure things out and improve yourself and your situation is a celebration, like it is. And if you decide to work on your personal growth and healing, then don't hesitate and find someone who has walked the path before, who can mentor you and help you, guide you through every step of the way. And if you realized you're just in a toxic relationship with this specific person, you need to reevaluate if this is the way you want to live for the rest of your life, in a constant push and pull dynamic, drama and insecurity, or if you want to have a relationship that feels safe, fulfilling, trustful and peaceful rather. My name is Martin from Milimar Holistic Healing and Coaching, and my girlfriend Michaela and I are helping people to end cycles of toxic relationship, so they can finally meet a great partner they can start family with. If you want to know more about toxic relationships, you can watch our recent free masterclass where we go in more depth about the whole thing. I will leave the link in the description below this video, so feel free to check it out. And this is it for today's video, and I truly hope that you have learned something from it, and if you did, please hit the like button below, that helps a lot too. And I would also love to know what you think, so share your opinions and experience in the comments. Thank you for taking the time to watch me today, and I'm wishing you great health and loving relationships, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.